Hello and welcome to the Astrology in You podcast. I'm Kerry Hourigan and today we'll be looking at the new moon in Leo coming up around the 29th of July 2022. But firstly, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the original land carers, the Awabakal people, where this podcast is recorded. I give my deepest respect to elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge the Awabakal people who have cared for this land for tens of thousands of years. I acknowledge that this land was stolen from them and that sovereignty has never been ceded. So just a reminder, you can get a free mini astrology report that includes a very detailed birth chart from Astrology in You. I've created a video to show you how you can create a free birth chart with transits at astro.com, which comes in very handy when you're following the astrology. You can find the podcast on iTunes, and any resources mentioned in the podcast will have links in the show notes below. And if you receive the newsletter, you will have access to the new moon in Leo through the houses. As you can imagine, there are countless ways these energies express themselves depending on your individual circumstances. So I've put together some general interpretations that will help you understand these powerful energies better. The new moon in Leo will be happening on the 28th or 29th of July 2022 at 5 degrees and 38 minutes, depending on your location. To see where this specifically relates to you, look to the house or the life area this will be transiting in your own chart, as this is the area affected. The new phase is a new evolutionary cycle with instinctual, random impulses, urges, and spontaneous experiences initiated to discover a new intention. These spontaneous impulses and urges come with no forethought because they are of an instinctual nature relating to the energy of the new moon sign. The new phase is a yang outward energy requiring absolute freedom to initiate the new cycle. Now, obviously, we experience restrictions and limitations that hamper our need for that freedom, and this can result in tension expressed at times with great frustration. The new phase is a very exciting phase as we can emotionally engage with a new conscious intention to bring into our very existence. Leo is a fixed fire sign ruled by the sun. The spark of life is ignited to share our creative self-actualization. Self-actualization requires your full involvement in life of what you are capable of accomplishing to realize your fullest potential. Abraham Maslow, psychologist and philosopher, was best known for creating Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a theory of psychological health predicted on fulfilling essential human needs in priority, culminating in self-actualization. And he created the Maslow's pyramid of essential needs, with self-actualization being the final stage at the top of the pyramid. And once we have our physiological, psychological, security, safety and belongingness needs met, we can move into self-actualization to realize our full potential. And I found this article incredibly informative and educational, and I'll put a link to it in the show notes. And it also includes Kurt Goldstein and Carl Rogers, who also contributed to understanding self-actualization, and it's definitely worth a read. In evolutionary astrology, we equate the moon to the ego, our self-image, and how we see ourselves. The moon relates to our emotions, inner security, intuitions, and sensitivity. So we see things through our own subjective filter. We also equate Leo and the sun, its ruler, to creative self-actualization. With Leo, we become full of ourselves. And really, this is required because we can then share our talents with the world. By then, we are full of self-confidence and enthusiasm, ready to share our creativity and passions with others. If our creativity serves the world, we receive recognition, acknowledgement, and appreciation. However, where Leo really shines is when it supports and encourages others to shine. When Leo truly expresses itself from the heart, its brilliance lies in I shine, you shine, we all shine. Leo is so expressive, it's generous and giving to those who are shy and introverted. It gives those people that push to express themselves in the world. Leo is also another archetype for the ego and personality, operating through a very individual reality. The world revolves around me. Notice me, look at me. Now this can be a little bit much when it comes to bragging and arrogance, as Leo energy can have a compulsion to be given praise, acknowledgement, and to be told how wonderful they are. This is a need for reassurance through continual positive feedback, because Leo follows Cancer, which relates to our emotional reassurance and security. It's easy to understand when you look at it that way. It doesn't matter how creative, generous, and confident we are, if our creativity is only self-serving and does not serve the community, represented by Aquarius, Leo's polar opposite sign, then there is no use for it and we can feel like the starving artist. However, if it is, the community will welcome it with open arms, with acknowledgement and appreciation. With the Leo new moon, we instinctively want to bring our creativity into a new cycle, which means going into the unknown and unfamiliar, and we can feel quite vulnerable and insecure. However, we have the courage of the new phase, which has Aryan qualities, that gives us that courage and bravado to go there. So what are you wanting to contribute to the world using your creativity to begin a new evolutionary cycle and showing the world what you're capable of and expressing your full potential? The Leo new moon and Mercury are in a wide conjunction in Leo, in a square with the Scorpio South Node and the Taurus North Node. Uranus and Mars are conjunct together with the Taurus North Node and with Saturn that's retrograding in Aquarius. Now there is a lot of things here, so I'll break it down. Starting with the squaring aspect. This aspect is in all the fixed signs. The squaring aspect is a transitional aspect that can be filled with tension and stress, and in the extreme creates a crisis, and a crisis creates change. The Leo new moon relates to our creativity. However, in this stressful situation, how do we actualize our creativity? I mean, what kind of stress are we talking about? Is it creative stress, the psychology of stress, etc.? I mean, it depends on what life area this is occurring for you, but it's also affecting us as a human family. As we work through this, we can progress, but if we don't work through it, we remain only to address it again. And I urge you to create your own chart with the transits as per the link below. The nodes of the moon relate to our future and past. Now currently we have the South Node in Scorpio, which is our past, and the North Node in Taurus, which is our future. Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, represents metamorphosis and transformation requires emotional intensity. Scorpio also rules death and rebirth, and essentially it's the end of the old, outdated ways to rebirth the new ways. Taurus relates to our self-reliance, procreation to survive, and the stability of nature, the planet, and our very existence. Issues around self-reliance, values, agriculture, the food supply, weather, money in relation to our functioning in society, shelter, etc., all come under Taurus and are all in a state of upheaval. And this upheaval is the way to more equality, speaking globally. Uranus is the planet of upheaval, helping the human family break free of limitations that are too restrictive, resulting in shocks, shake-ups, rebelliousness, and revolution. This happens when there is a resistance to change, and resistance is associated with Pluto, which is in Capricorn, that I will speak about very shortly. And this resistance to change for evolution is resisted continuously. It can be cataclysmic and catastrophic. We really don't need to go there, because there are many forces that come together to bring on change. Just like an earthquake, the pressure builds until it cannot be contained anymore, and therefore change occurs. This is why we are seeing the protests and restlessness of the people all over the world, extreme weather events, wild swings in the financial markets, and asset bubbles ready to burst around the world in trying to maintain the old ways, the ways that created these problems in the first place. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, as this also brings liberation and equality to move to a better future and rid the distortions of the controlling, distorted patriarchy which seems only to serve the rich and powerful. Uranus is the rebel, the maverick, helping people wake up to all of these distortions, and this is very threatening to the elite as they are known. People are thinking for themselves and forming their own opinions more and more, finding out that we are not told the whole truth. And it takes a very brave person to speak their truth, and this is what the energy of Uranus is doing. It's revealing the truth, including on our own individual level. Mars is a powerful driving force, and it's conjuncting or sitting next to Uranus, pushing us forward through this time. With Mars, we have enormous courage to forge new territory and face whatever challenges we meet. This combination is moving us forward to a new future in the age of Aquarius, which will take a few generations, but it is us who are here setting the seeds and blazing the trails for the generations to come. And we do it for them, we do it for ourselves. The new moon in Leo is so important, initiating our creativity and realize the enormous potential we have as individuals where we can contribute to the good of all humanity, the planet, the animals. This is what Aquarius is about. Now Pluto, as I mentioned before, is continuing in Capricorn. It continues to expose the corruptions and secrets of individuals in governments and big corporations and the secrets of the rich and powerful, especially the sexual secrets. This continual breaking down exposes unfair and immoral conduct that will be exposed. They can't escape it. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see established corporations fall apart, changes to the money system, upheaval in the stock market and the housing market in the process. Do what you can to position yourself in the best possible way. Things like grow your own food, make your own health and well-being a priority, control your debt and manage your finances better. So there's a link to a financial literacy course from my dear sweet friend Susan Hart. So if you are not the master of your money, you will be a slave to it, and Susan shows you how. So the link's just below. So as a wrap up, nurturing ourselves through the new moon. If we look medically, Leo rules the heart, the cardiovascular system, spine and blood circulation. And some suggestions: start a meditation practice daily and invite your creativity in. What do you want to create? Praise and acknowledge someone and help them shine. Do something for your heart and practice self-love. Appreciate and acknowledge things in yourself. Have fun, enjoy your life, and ponder how you can achieve self-actualization. Thank you for listening. Take good care of yourself. It's all happening. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. And just before I go, thank you to all my new subscribers and my existing subscribers. I appreciate you very, very much. Thanks again. Bye-bye for now.